Let's connect it up, guys. Coming at you November 29th, 2020 live stream. Making sure we're all set. I'm going to wait to connect. Coming at you live for talking about The Walking Dead, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead universe on there. So let's make sure we're good. Make sure we're there. Wait for some people to join. So we'll go for an hour, guys, and hopefully you're doing good and hopefully everything's all right for you. And the big thing is that the holiday here in the States were on Thursday was Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving. I said it last live stream because it was the one before. Mine was a couple crazy days. Thanksgiving morning. I'll just get into it a little bit. I woke up at like 4 something in the morning. Sinus pressure, headache, not feeling good at all. I was like, man, this is just not good. So I took a decongestant. Still didn't really do much. Took a Tylenol. Finally went back to sleep. Wife woke up. Was like, you want breakfast on there too? I was like, I just went back to sleep. It was just kind of crazy. Finally started to feel better towards the end or towards the middle of the day. Started cooking, getting everything ready for the holidays. And then, just talking to the family and everything. It's just my wife and I. So it was a smaller, low-key Thanksgiving. But it was also good because I got to watch The World Beyond Season 1, Episode 9 and 10. So that was kind of a good thing. That's when I kind of started feeling better about it. Then just maybe the pressure of everything on Friday with, online shopping. Bought a couple small things at Target and Amazon, and a couple things here and there. Put up the Christmas tree and you put up the decorations around the house and, just getting things together. Then we had some craziness with our cat Otis. I don't know if I have a couple videos and stuff and, some pictures online, but our cat Otis, who's a year old now, his eye started bothering him. He kept closing it or winking. So we're like, I don't know, did he get into the Christmas tree or did something happen? And it kept going on and on and on. And he was showing that his eye was okay and not, and everything. And then ultimately my wife wanted to take him to the vet, but the vet's not open Monday through, or on the weekends. They're only open Monday through Friday. So we had to go to an emergency care thing. And it was this whole big thing. They gave some eye drops and some stuff to catch up with the other doctor when we can go see them in regular business hours. So it's been a couple crazy days with it. Walking Dead stuff, Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, a lot of good information coming around. We'll get into it. But that was my holiday. Hopefully yours has been better and got to get some shopping done, get some things. And, it's been hopefully, doing a little better all the way around. We're getting closer. It's like, man, this year, 2020, is not going down without a fight. That's for sure. So ultimately, happy belated Thanksgiving. Hopefully you got some shopping done on Black Friday. Cyber Monday's coming up. Maybe you got some deals. Maybe you got a PS5. I know that's the big item this year. I'm gonna wait on that for sure. But Fear the Walking Dead is done for the year. There's no more Fear the Walking Dead this year. It'll be back next year. I'm thinking, probably April. But today is November 29th. And on February 28th, we're going to get The Walking Dead back. 6 extra episodes for Season 10. Extended Season 10, 10C, whatever you want to call it. And pretty cool stuff that it's less than 3 months away. It'll be here before you know it. Crazy to think. I think December 13th is the Christmas special for The Walking Dead. And there's been some stuff going around. There's always rumors. There's always speculation. There's always, a bunch of different things. And Joey, I'll definitely talk about The Walking Dead, World Beyond, the finale, both the episodes in the last half hour of it. We'll break it down, give you my thoughts as well. You got an Xbox Series X, pretty cool stuff. I'm a PlayStation guy, so I'm gonna wait some more if I even buy the PS5. But so the news that was going around is that we're going to get flashbacks of T-Dog and Beth in the 6 extended extra episodes for season 10. And people are like, oh, that's great. According to Irony Singleton, he plays T-Dog. He said something about it. And so we were thinking that we're going to get some flashbacks of it. Even though it seems out of place, it seems like so far gone since T-Dog was killed in season 3 and Beth, and it just doesn't really fit. But people were thinking that would be cool to see. Turns out that was miscommunication, misinformation, just lost in translation, that we will not see Beth or T-Dog in the 6 extra episodes, but we will see them in the Christmas special, the holiday special. The special that is coming up in a couple weeks for The Walking Dead. So that's what we'll most likely see them for, is what people are saying. So if you see people saying around there that they're going to be on the show. The latest information is that they won't. They will be on the Christmas special coming up in a couple weeks. So you may see that. You may see some stuff with, confirmed, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or it's official, or that, or a bunch of other words that people get to have people coming to their channel and videos. That's what people do, and that's what never going to stop it. So we just got to kind of deal with it, laugh at it, and move on, and just, comment it here and there. So I'm just giving you the heads up of the information that I have too. So let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead a little bit. Overall, season 6, very good. All 7 episodes were entertaining. They had a nice feel to it. They had a nice kind of story. Some were a little slower than others. And a lot of times, I think it worked, even though it focused on like 1, 2, maybe 3 characters an episode. And then the next episode was like a different characters. And then a different characters. And so it worked, though, even though Morgan was in a lot of the episodes. He's definitely the driving factor and driving force of the show. I'm going to see what happens with Strand and Alicia, Ginny, Daniel, the trailer that came out for it. Yash asked, can we expect another teaser trailer for The Walking Dead on December 13th? I would think so. I would think you'll get like a little clip of probably 10/17, the first episode back. I would assume we'll get something there, maybe another trailer, but they may save the trailer for like January. But we should be getting more and more information and stuff. They'll give us some stuff as well about it. But I hope that it's worth watching and some good information comes about. I don't know what we're going to actually get, but I would assume we'll get something for the 6 extra episodes for that. But Fear the Walking Dead is, I want to say season 6 is probably one of the best seasons so far. I know it's only half a season and the second half could be worse and they could go back to their own stories and the way they used to do things and leave us in the, but The Walking Dead does it from time to time too, where the first half is like almost different, pretty different, somewhat different from the second half. The first half and second half, sometimes they line up. The Walking Dead does a pretty good job with blending stuff. And I know Greg Nicotero said previously that episode 1 and episode 8 are like bookmarks. Everything that happens in between there is really for its own half. And then episode 9 through episode 16 is kind of the same thing. There are going to be some carryover from episode 8 to episode 9. Hopefully Fear the Walking Dead has carryover from episode 7 into 8. I really don't know why they only did 7 episodes in the first half of season 6 for Fear the Walking Dead, but it didn't feel to me that episode 7 was like a good mid-season. It was a good episode, but I just feel like it wasn't the best episode for the mid-season to leave us wanting that much more. Like the big reveal was that Grace was there in a bunker, in a room, in a secret hiding spot, basically in Lawton. Is it that big a deal? Not really, because she's a pregnant woman. Why was it that big a deal? Now, if it was Madison in there or something crazy like that, we're like, whoa, oh my gosh, can't wait for her to come back. And I can't wait for her to come back anyway. But Diana asks, did you say December 13th, Xmas special? Did I hear that correctly? That's what they're saying it is. They're saying The Walking Dead Christmas special, AMC Plus, December 13th. So it says Christmas special on some of the advertisements. So I don't know if it's going to be them talking about the holidays or what it's going to be, or if it's just going to be a special close to the holidays. That's what it is. We just don't know yet. But right now, it's looking more and more that it's going to be on AMC Plus, which kind of stinks. And they'll probably air it, late on Fridays, what they were doing for Talking Dead and a bunch of things like that. Like you could watch it later, DVR it, watch it somewhere, somehow like that. So we'll see. But yeah, Eddie says episode 8 is technically the real mid-season finale. Yeah, it typically is, because it is. Episode 8 is halfway from 16, and that's what they do. It's the mid-season halfway point of the series, of the season. So we'll see what they do in the next episode, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be setting up for the back half of season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. And, they love to have certain things. The Walking Dead writers and the Walking Dead universe does the same things over and over and over again. They have different characters, different sexuality of different characters. They have a spy. They have the group split up, come together, split up again. Someone thinks like they don't like the way things are doing. Like they don't like, Maggie doesn't like the way Rick was leading. Strand doesn't like the way Alicia is being or Morgan's being. Like it's just like they're kind of doing the same stuff over and over and over and over again, but then they have different stories like the Whispers. That was unique for the show. And then they have the Saviors, but then they have like the lazy Saviors on Fear the Walking Dead. It's kind of like they're just going through the motions, and they do their stories and they do what it is, and they kind of mix it up a little bit. And it is what it is. I still love the Walking Dead universe, and it's changed my viewpoint on the zombie apocalypse, dystopian universe kind of writing, storytelling, shows, movies. It's really set the bar pretty high. Could they do things differently? For sure. Could they do things better in a lot of areas? Maybe not a lot of areas, but in some areas for sure. But overall, I think they do a great job telling stories in the Walking Dead universe. Now, some people disagree about the Walking Dead World Beyond because I like the World Beyond. It's not for everybody. It's maybe not for people. I don't know. I don't know how old Matthew Negretti is, the showrunner, but I feel like he's around my age, maybe late 30s, early 40s. And he was talking about Stand By Me and certain storytelling shows and movies that really drew inspiration for the World Beyond. And I can see that. And I grew up with that. I grew up with those shows, those movies. And I know what the World Beyond is, right? People are like, these kids are terrible. They're horrible actors. The story's crap. They can't even kill walkers. Judith would be a better person than this, right? So I just don't know what it is too. So let me see right here. We got a hater in the house. Let's block and hide this person. Thank you very much for stopping by. Keep it rolling. But ultimately, if you don't like the World Beyond, that's okay. I got the channel, the videos to bring it up, share it with you guys, break it down. Just check it out because I doubt you want to miss out stuff for that, right? The World Beyond is connected with The Walking Dead. I love the idea of the connections with CRM, with hopefully Rick, with hopefully the movies, hopefully the shows, hopefully there too, right? And it's just something that I'm buying into. Now, some things are super far-fetched, but they're far-fetched all over the place, right? They're far-fetched on The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead. It's fiction. It's science fiction. I pointed out. People are like, you're nitpicking. You're this. I'm just discussing it. I have nothing but support and love and admiration for the Walking Dead universe. That includes Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond. But there's some things that are cheesy, that are dumb, that are stupid in my eyes. But I still love it. I watch it. I can't remember what episode it was. Was it episode 108 with Silas, the dad, the backstory where he was beaten up really bad by Silas, who was protecting himself, defending himself? It was self-defense. It clearly was self-defense. And they had the orange. They show you the orange. So were they living in a CRM stronghold? Were they living in a community like that? Did they steal it from CRM? Or I guess the Civic Republic. It's not CRM. CRM is just the military. It's just easier to say CRM versus CR. But the Civic Republic, were they living in there? But either way, when Silas talks to the neighbor and the dad was laying down against the wall and he was, dying basically. He was stabbed in the stomach. He's, beat up pretty bad. And evidently he went into the bathroom, tried to patch himself up with some bloody rags and some alcohol and some, gauze and some everything. And then I don't know how he got upstairs without going after Silas. And then he died and then he's just standing there. It's kind of like the walkers in season 2. They're just sitting in the church. And then Daryl and co come in and they're like, oh, there's people here. Let me go bite them, right? So it's just stuff like that. When in doubt, sprinkle some walkers in there. I don't really like the name Empties. It just seems forced to have a new name for them, But overall, the show is something we'll talk about it more in the last half hour, but we got 10 episodes of the show, and I think it should have been 6, maybe 8 episodes at the most, right? Because you have 4 for character development, and then you have 4 for the story, and then it's over. But The Walking Dead stretches it out, gets more out of things, and they get every last drop of things to put it there too. So Hawaiian Cute says, hi, Bri. What do you expect about season 2 of The World Beyond? I'll talk about that in the last half hour, but I expect big things for the second season of World Beyond that should connect right into the Rick movies or the Rick universe or the Rick location or whatever, right? That I think it should be almost like a prequel for the Rick movies. They should have some bigger things. I want bigger stuff with CRM and I want more involvement with CRM, right? And that was probably some of the biggest complaints that people were like, I watched this for CRM. And CRM is in the first episode for like 10 minutes. And then there's post-credit scenes. And then it's 2 minutes at the end of the season. Or then it's post-credit scenes. And then there's like 10 minutes at the end of an episode. And then there's like 2 minutes at an episode. And then we don't see them at all. And then we get more information about them and the truck and Tony and Percy and everything. And, the last episode of World Beyond left it on a cliffhanger somewhat. Like what happened with Tony, what happened with Silas, or I guess that was 2 episodes ago. But what happened with Silas, what happened with Percy, what happened with Tony, who actually did it, and we get to find out some information. Like it's okay. But overall, I liked season 1, episode 9 and episode 10, which they put together as one finale. I can see why they did it. It's 2 separate episodes, but they flow together really well, and it could be combined as one big episode, and it is. And it's good. It's a good thing. And it's 2 legit episodes because I think 109 is like 48 minutes and then 110 is 50 minutes. So they're legit episodes, the lengthwise. And they set some things up. They answer some questions. They ask a lot more questions, setting up season 2. And I hope you enjoy it, but I'll talk about that in the last half hour a little bit more. Rob Rishel says, do you think Rick will show up in The Walking Dead World Beyond? If so, when? What season, episode? Well, he's not in the first season at all. And there was a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors, a lot of hype, a lot of stuff going around. But Rick Grimes is not in the first season of The Walking Dead World Beyond. He's not mentioned. He's not thought of. The characters don't know who he is. They just don't know anything about him. So if it's going to be 2 seasons of the show, the best bet is next season. I don't know if he'll show up in the actual episodes, but there could be talk of something. You could hear him on the radio. You could hear a voiceover work. You could hear something. Basically what people thought that was going to be in the season 1 finale. I would love for someone to mention Rick Grimes. And it really bothered me when Morgan, I believe it was season 4, when he didn't even say Rick Grimes' name. He didn't even bring up his name at all. He was like, yeah, my friend back home. We were like, we know it's Rick. We know what you're talking about. Say Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. Come on, right? Too. So, Eduardo, I don't really know what they want to do. What do you think Rick's first scene will be, Bri? I don't know because I don't know what they would want to do. But I don't know how they're going to do this because I would assume the first Rick movie will be when they go to wherever they went. Jadis, Rick, the helicopter, if it's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, wherever they're going to be. Some city, some area, somewhere in the Northeast. He's got to get patched up. He's got to probably go through the protocol of the Civic Republic. He would probably have to have his medical clearance, make sure he's going to be okay. That would take time, weeks, months, whatever. Can he walk right? Does he have a cane? Is he fine now? He had a big injury. He had a piece of rebar sticking out through his back, through his stomach. Was his colon perforated? It's just when you're a medical person, you think things medically, and you see that, well, that's going to be a problem because did he rip through his abdomen? Was his colon, perforated? I doubt it would be because he wouldn't be able to walk around so much. But either way, he would be a big thing going forward. What happens with that? I don't know what they would do I would assume that the show, The Walking Dead World Beyond, would connect with the second movie because the timeline of things, Rick went away. It was before the 6-year time jump in The Walking Dead. So what was he doing all those years? Did he leave the facility? Does he have more just responsibilities? Does he have more access? Is he a soldier? Is he brainwashed? Is he have amnesia? Is he locked down? Does he have some sort? He was a police officer, so he has some training. He has some ability to use weapons, and Rick's a pretty talented guy. So I'm not sure. what they would actually do. I would like to see, I don't want to give anything away to the last half hour, but the way it ends, I would like to see the ending of The World Beyond connect with another character that went away. I'll just say that, and I talk about that in my breakdown that I'll post later today. I'm probably not going to post my breakdown later tonight because if The World Beyond is 2 hours long and it goes from 9 to 11, I'm not going to post my breakdown at 11 o'clock at night. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to post it probably later on this afternoon. And I have to say, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but a lot of people are not getting notified when I post videos every day and when I post multiple videos a day. I'm pretty sure they only notify 3 videos per channel. So if I do a live stream and I post 2 other videos, you're not going to be notified on that 4th video. Because last weekend, I posted a video about Madison in the episode, that she's not in it. And then I did a live stream, and then I posted another video, I think, of my breakdown of the episode. And then I posted another video of my trailer breakdown, my early trailer breakdown of the Fear the Walking Dead Season 6B trailer. That I'm going to do another one because that was super early, that was super rushed. And I know I talked about John Dory, and I didn't know if he was on the truck. And then so many people commented about John being on the truck, and I can't believe you missed it, and you're really rushing things. Your video wasn't good. I can't believe you did this. First of all, I watched the trailer once, got some stuff together, and posted the video. I didn't do a thorough breakdown of everything under the sun, with Morgan being calf roped by, which most likely is a ranger, and I believe that John takes out the ranger, and that's who they bury. You know, that's after watching it again and doing more. I'm going to do another thorough breakdown of it. But we all know that John, Morgan, and Dakota are in the truck surrounded by walkers. I would assume we'll see that in Season 6, Episode 8, because a lot of that trailer in there is in the trailer for the first half of Season 6 that we were supposed to get over the summer before COVID, before all that stuff, and in the way back when trailer. So I would assume there was supposed to be 8 episodes, and the mid-season was supposed to be in the 8th episode. So we'll see how that goes down. But I'm really interested to see who. Hopefully you saw the trailer that I'm talking about or my breakdown. I'm really interested to find out more about who's the guy with Alicia. Is that the guy that John was talking to the rabbi about? About the guy, I'm blanking on, the mortician? Is that the same guy? Because that'd be pretty cool if it was. That would be a nice little connecting point there as well. Because the thing with the Walking Dead universe is a lot of times they connect stuff. They plant a seed, they put it there, and it grows half a season later or 2 seasons away. They also leave us wanting what happened to Morales? What happened to Heath? Why don't we know about the helicopters? Why don't we know about Negan and Father Gabriel talking about the helicopters? Why don't we know about this? Why don't we know about the PPP card? Why don't we know about there? There's still things so many years later that we're like, hello, still waiting to find out there too. So I'll do another trailer breakdown of that. And I'll give you some more breakdown stuff of The Walking Dead World Beyond, my hopes and what I think is going to happen in Season 2 of The World Beyond. But Fear the Walking Dead, I know there's been a lot of talk about, what's up, Tommy Griffin Jr.? A lot of talk about Madison. And there always is, because we didn't see a body. She could have got picked up by a helicopter. She could have jumped over the ladder. She could have climbed up a ladder. She could have went away. She could have climbed over the wall. She could have climbed up the fence. She could have killed all these walkers with her bare hands. She could have took the shovel out and started killing 1 million walkers. But she was surrounded. I break it down. I talk about Madison. Just so much things that are out there. But to me, that was her death episode. The showrunners talked about it being her last episode. The actress talked about it being the last episode in Season 4, Episode 8. But now they're like, well, we never saw the body. And no one's gone until they're gone. So keep watching, guys. And I was thinking about this, right? I hate it when people troll. I really hate it when, or I should say I dislike. I shouldn't say hate. I really dislike when people troll. When showrunners, producers, writers, whoever, they troll the audience. They do things to make you want more, to not answer your questions. Well, you got to keep watching. You got to keep buying the comic. You got to keep watching the shows. You got to keep watching this. You got to keep doing that. What's your favorite issue? The next one. What's your favorite movie? The next one. What's your favorite book? The next one. Like so many writers, so many people like that, they're like, keep us in the thing. And, I'm not the biggest comic book fan, but I can imagine when they killed off Superman, people are like, oh my God, Superman's dead. Just to bring him back, you're like, well, what? What was all the hoopla about? What was all the big thing about? Because they want to do that all the time. These superheroes can't die. They bring them back because of these magical crystals or the Infinity Stones. They could bring back whoever they want because everyone's back. It was all a dream. We're all good, right? And it just seems like it's unsatisfying and just, I don't know, trolling for lack of a better word, right? So we'll see. But there's been a lot of talk about stuff in The Walking Dead, and it's not going anywhere, guys, for some time. We had the 6 extra episodes in less than 3 months, so in February. So I'll have February, one episode there, and then all of March, and then if there's like 5 weeks there or whatever, and then we'll probably get Fear the Walking Dead in April. So if we get 8-9 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, pretty awesome stuff, right? Kelly Taylor says, hi, PT, long time no see. Love your videos. Thank you. I appreciate it on there too. So, but I appreciate everybody on there too. Sorry, let me patrol the chat a little bit here. People have been pretty good we're doing good. We're doing good, guys. But thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. If you can, guys, hit that subscribe button, liking the video, liking the channel always helps out. But so Fear the Walking Dead has been great. Season 6 has been one of the best seasons, if not the best so far. I know a lot of people like season 3, and I like season 3 as well too. And a lot of people, everybody's coming. Well, not everybody. There's a group, we'll say, that comes to the defense of Madison, right? And I think partially people liked her. People like Madison. They like Kim Dickens. They like the actress. They like the character. They like the story of it, and that's good. Good for you. But there's also a lot of people that didn't. There's a lot of people that were like, she's unemotional, she's boring, she's bland, she's blah, she's this, she's that. She's not a good lead character. Some people liked it, some people didn't. The character gets killed off, and now so many people like this character, right? And I think Jeannie said it perfectly in the comments that I agreed with in one of the videos. They did the same thing with Carl. There was a lot of people that did not like Carl. Carl was this, Carl was that, Carl was annoying, Carl didn't listen, Carl this. And then Carl died. And they're like, I miss Carl. The biggest mistake ever was killing Carl off. Why didn't they keep Carl around? Man, why were they doing this? What were they doing, right? So was it the fact that they actually liked the character, or did they, complain about it because the character got killed off? We'll never know, but that's a big thing I've seen in shows and in movies, and sometimes in real life people do the same thing where they complain about a certain person and a loved one all the time, and that person or that loved one's not around anymore, and now they talk about how great they were. It's just a part of life, I guess. I could see that. Some people only remember the good in people, some people only remember the bad, but either way, it's a fictional show and we get what we get. So, but we're going to be talking about some spoilers coming up, guys, so spoiler warning in a couple minutes. But so let's see what else we got. Hopefully you guys are doing okay with the holidays. If you traveled anywhere, hopefully you were safe and sound and secure. I didn't. I was right here in my house. My wife and I were just for Thanksgiving, and I bought some stuff online that'll be coming later this week. My wife did the same thing. I think we're going to go to a store tomorrow. We got to get a couple things for the house. And then other than that, we're keeping, to ourselves, keeping it quiet, keeping it low key. But I'm just ready to get this year over with and move it on to 2021, because if we got 2021, we'll have the 6 extra episodes of The Walking Dead, and then we'll have the back half of Fear the Walking Dead if it's 8 or 9 episodes. And then I think they'll start filming The World Beyond Season 2 sometime in early, maybe middle part of the year, probably bearing COVID and everything. I guess the plan is still to film in Virginia. That's where they filmed the first season, even though they were in Nebraska for the story and going to New York and going for the story. It was filmed in Virginia. The Walking Dead films in Georgia, And I wonder, and the Fear the Walking Dead films in Texas. But The Walking Dead, I think the early word is that they were trying to start filming season 11 in late March, early April, if not May. So I don't know what their plan is now after the 6 extra episodes, COVID protocols, all that stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. But I believe they're done filming the 6 extra episodes and they finished right before Thanksgiving. And that's why we got the episode news and the episode titles and more stuff there too. So, but let's get into some spoiler territories, guys. We got the last half hour, I guess, just to talk about The World Beyond, because that was the only 2 episodes that we saw. No more Fear the Walking Dead until next year. And yeah. So Walking Dead World Beyond. Love it, hate it, like it, dislike it, tolerate it. I enjoy it. So I guess I'm going to like it. I'm not a love it. I don't think it's the best Walking Dead show there is. I still think that The Walking Dead is the best show. But I still like The Walking Dead, World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead. I like the shows. But The Walking Dead World Beyond is 2 hours. The finale is 2 hours long. And I said it before in the live stream that it probably should have been 8 episodes. But they stretched it out. And we got 10 episodes. Now, hopefully you watch the show so you're up to date, that you know about Iris and Hope and Huck and Felix and Silas and Elton and Tony and Percy. Well, Tony is dead. Tony was killed off. Some people thought that he was a walker, or there was a walker body they put in there too. But we find out that it was Huck. Huck is the spy. Huck is the daughter of Elizabeth Kublik. Huck is the one that killed Tony, and basically she is working for the greater good. She is working for a CRM, or the Civic Republic, and she's trying to work her way up the, I guess, chain of command. And she needs basically Elizabeth Kublik, her mom, to vouch for her. She was put to the task to get the girl Hope. Hope is the asset. And it's kind of hard for me to remember what's 109 and 110, but the last time we saw in 108 going into 19, we saw Silas on his own, Elton on his own, and it was Hope, Felix, Huck, and Iris in the truck, or on their own, and they were in the truck. And basically Huck is driving the CRM truck, Iris is in the front seat, Felix and Hope are in the back seat, and everyone's asleep except for Huck. She's driving in the middle of the night. We see a sign. It says Ithaca, so many miles, so that's where they're going. Well, it's another city's under there, but if it's Buffalo, I think. But Ithaca is their stopping point. That's where they're going. That's where the research facility is that they're trying to get to. Huck thinks about her conversation that she had with her mom. They talk about the watch being her dad's, that their dad left. So I guess the dad is still alive. We don't know who the dad is. Is it someone in the Walking Dead universe? Will we see the person? Will we not? Who knows? They have their little mother-daughter conflict. Basically Huck is trying to work her way up. She cut her face for them. She hurt her arm for them. She did everything for CRM is basically what she's admitting to this point. She's driving down the road. She sees a sign in the road. She's like, I guess I got to wreck this truck. Poof. Flattens the tire, pulls over. Everybody wakes up. Oh, what happened? What happened? Oh my God. Oh, the tire's all tore up. They can't use the truck anymore. So they start walking down the way. They're walking down this path. It's the middle of the night. They get surrounded by walkers. When in doubt, throw some walkers in there, right? They take out their S-poles. They're taking down walkers here and there too. The walkers are trying to tie it up with barbed wire. So they're kind of around it. They take some of the walkers out. The next part you see is Felix got injured. Felix has a scratch on his leg. Is it a bite? Is it this? No, it's just a scratch. Well, it turns out to be a cut that we find out later that Huck cut Felix's leg on purpose to make him wounded because she is trying to get the asset, who is Hope, away from Iris and Felix, and Huck is trying to take Hope to CRM and separate themselves. She's been trying to do that all along. She was trying to take Hope away all along. It didn't work out, so we had to wait 10 episodes to find out that, or 9 episodes to find out this information. So Felix is injured. They go into like a nursing home. I guess it's a nursing home, but it's called the Red Maple. Interesting. Believe in the red symbolism? Maybe, maybe not. I do, but it's there again. Point blank. Red's all over the place. It's on the upholstery. It's in a dish. It's on the wall. Red's all over the place. There's a red lantern that Huck uses later on, right? So, but So we find out later on that Huck cut Felix's leg when Felix was trying to kill some of the walkers. And the way she cuts it, she would have cut his Achilles tendon. But it's not it's not that thing. It's not that part of realism on there too. It's just a slice that he tries to patch up his leg. He can barely walk. He can barely get around. They break up. They walk around the building. They walk around stuff. Felix and Hope are together walking around. Huck and Iris are walking around the steps. Huck finds a room that she says, she's like, oh God. She closes it and she tells Iris, don't go in there. There's a bunch of dead ones. You don't want to go in there. Iris is like, okay, sounds great. So they leave. But later on, you find out that that room had medical supplies, oxygen, Band-Aids, gauze, everything they could have had to fix Felix up, patch him up, and get him rolling again. But Felix can't really walk. He can't really get around. So they decide to walk down a path. They come across to a bus that they have to hop over. The girls and Huck hop over the bus. Felix comes to the bus, jumps up, falls back, sprains his ankle, hurts his ankle even more. It's like, I can't go on. I can't do any of it. That kind of bothers Huck and, Hope, and goes like, we have to get going. We have to keep going. We have to go, because they have a timeline that Huck has to go take Hope, basically. So you're like, we have to keep going here. Felix is kind of dead weight, and they can't really do anything about it. So they decide what to do, and it's this whole big conflict. Then you see Elton is by himself. He was sleeping on top of a storage container in the middle of nowhere. It reminded me a lot of like Magna's group when we see them with the storage container, the cart and everything. That kind of just reminded me of that. But Elton's kind of pissed off and he's thinking about his mom, and he opens up the manuscript and it says, to my Elton, my explorer. And he rips that page out, and then he rips another page out, and then rips another page out. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, stop doing that. Stop ripping up your mom's work, because it's going to bother you that you did that. He rips it up, rips up the pages, and they fly away. So then he gathers his things, and he finds the pages and finds a page. And even though the page that he crumpled up, he finds the same page, nice and flat, regular, nice and clean. Like, didn't you just, crumple that up? It would be in a ball. It wouldn't be, but either way. But the page flies away, lands in some blood. He picks it up. He sees the blood. He sees a blood trail. He goes after it, follows it. Who does he find? Percy. Percy stabs a walker, passes out, and Elton finds Percy, who's alive, but not doing well. Elton is dragging Percy through this field, this open field. It's a really nice area, by the way. This open field, dragging it. And Elton's got Silas's bag, Silas's wrench, his bag, his clothes, his this, and he's also dragging Percy. Elton's not a big guy. He probably weighs 90 pounds soaking wet. He's not this big, strong dude. So he's dragging him. He's getting tired. He sits there, whatever. He's there. Then he starts talking to Percy, but it's in his mind. Percy's passed out. So you have to be like, wait a second, what's going on here? He's imagining talking to Percy, and he's getting help what to do, what not to do. He checks Percy's, he's bleeding. Percy has blood on his jacket and everything. He opens up the jacket. We see a gunshot wound on his left upper pec muscle. Basically the same location where Morgan got shot at the end of season 5 by Ginny. I don't know if it's a callback, a connection, something, it's whatever it is, but it's like, what are the odds of that, right? Too. So, our Paras 34, what's up, Brian? Been a while since. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Been back around. I definitely have seen you over the years. Good, glad you're back for sure. And I'm glad everybody's here for sure. Myself, Mark, my guy Mark just joined. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you for taking the time and for being here. But Elton is basically deciding what to do. He finds the gunshot wound on Percy, decides to patch him up a little bit. He's got these these kids know so much stuff. He knows that he can use this thing to draw in the infection, use the gauze to bandage him up. And Percy, in his mind, who's not actually talking to him, but he is talking to, Elton, you should give up. I'm dying. I don't look so good. You can't keep working on the guy. He's going to be dead anyway. Why waste your time? Why do that? Then these 4 walkers start walking towards him. And he's walking, and they go super slow-mo. It's like they're like, because Percy is talking to Elton on the ground, and it's happening in his mind that he's talking what to do, what not to do. Should he give up? Should he save Percy? Should he not? Should he, what's going on here? So the walkers are coming super slow, but I took it as he's trying to the time is going fast in his mind, talking to himself about what to do with Percy, but the walkers are going super slow, in relation to what's really going on. But Percy is talking some sense into Elton, and Elton's like, nah, I'm not going to give up. So he picks up the big wrench, that Silas's red wrench, and he takes out a walker. He kicks a walker down, and he wraps these two walkers around with the fishing line, and then he kills one walker. And that's it. So the two walkers are tied together in the fishing line. They're laying there. The other walker, where he just kicked down to the ground, it just lays there. You're like, that walker should have got up by now. That doesn't make sense. So Elton only killed one walker, but he tied up two, and then he kicked one down. The walker should have got up. But either way, Elton stops the walkers, and he gets Percy going, and he's sitting there, and he turns on his radio. And he's trying to, he's like, Hope, Felix, somebody, like trying to get a hold of somebody, right? So that's like kind of the other part of the story. You don't see Silas in the first episode, or in episode 109, I believe. And then Felix is still trying to get patched up. Hope and Iris are having some arguments, what to do, what not to do. And we find out that Hope deciphers the code on the CRM booklet. It's basically the coordinates on there are letters, and she deciphers the code. And the code comes out to be raft asset headed to New York +4, all 4 expendable. So it's Huck and Hope are the two people that are the not expendable people, but it's Felix, Silas, Elton, and Iris are the 4 expendable people. So that's the code that they kind of break down. So Hope knows something is up. She deciphered the code. She knows that there's a good chance that these people could get killed. And Hope is trying to protect Iris. But Iris takes it as a thing like, what's wrong with you? Why are you being so weird? Why are you taking it? Why are you like, something's up with Hope and Iris's relationship. But Hope goes to Huck in the middle of the night. And she says, we need to go. We need to get out of here. And Huck's like, okay, I'll get my bags. So then Hope knows that Huck was okay leaving them, that something's off with Huck, that she's not who she says she is, and she was okay with leaving Felix and Iris. That wouldn't be okay if you were trying to get everybody there. If she's okay with leaving, it's different. And you see the growth in Iris and Hope and everybody in there too, because Iris was naive, and now she figures things out, and you kind of see some things on there too. So. Elite Gaming likes Felix is my favorite in The Walking Dead World Beyond. I like Felix. I liked everybody. I know some people didn't like Iris. I liked Felix. I liked Elton. I think Elton was pretty funny. Silas was okay. Silas has his little moments, but, I liked Hope. She had, different things. And I know some people will be like, yeah, these two girls are going to do this and do that. Well, it's kind of the story that we got. We have 2 female protagonists, and we have some help from older individuals with Felix and Huck, and it worked for me, not for everybody. But either way, Hope and Huck leave Felix and Iris at the nursing facility. They're walking down the path. Turns out Hope took Felix's gun because she's no dummy. Hope is the asset. Hope is smart. Hope is educated. She's got some street smarts. She's got some education. Hope is basically a genius. So Huck says, hold on, I'll be right back. She goes around this thing to have some privacy. She turns on her radio. She says, it's basically the same time that Elton is on the radio looking for Felix or trying to get a hold of somebody, Huck turns on her radio and hears that it's Elton. And she's like, where are you? What are you doing? And Percy wakes up and he grabs Elton and is like, she's the one that shot me. So Huck was the one that killed Tony and shot Percy. It wasn't Silas at all, which we kind of thought it was too obvious, it was too this, and it was, right? Again, that's the thing The Walking Dead does. The trailers make you think one thing, and it's too obvious, it didn't happen. But Huck's the spy. Huck killed Tony. Huck is all about getting Hope to CR, to the Civic Republic, to do that. And I think that's really the episode 109. But then it picks up right around there in episode 110, where Hope and Huck are walking down a dirt path by some trees. Huck is ahead of Hope, saying that the S-pole is jammed. Hope takes out the gun and points it at Huck, and she's crying. She's upset because she knows something's wrong. Huck's not really trustworthy. She points her gun at Huck, and she yells, "Who are you?" And Huck turns around, like, "Whoa, put the gun down here, you know." So she talks her way out of it. Hope doesn't want to shoot Huck, but you know the possibility that could happen on there too. Then we get a bunch of flashbacks with Dr. Bennett, the two girls as their babies, because hopefully you know that Hope and Iris were both adopted. So we don't know who their parents are. Maybe they're connected with Elizabeth Kublik. Maybe they're Dr. Belshaw. Maybe they're somebody else. Maybe they're nobody. But the Bennetts adopted Hope and Iris. And then we find out that Dr. Bennett, and I can't remember in episode 109 if you get to see more of the backstory with Will and Felix and Dr. Bennett, and how Felix was interrogating Huck or asking her questions, whatever you want to call it, after she arrived there. And then Will came in and said, well, I was supposed to do the interrogation or do the interview. Well, I already started it. And there was kind of their playful banter. And Will, he has like a degree in psychology, and he's very educated and very smart. And then Will and Felix are together. You get to see their relationship, that Will is good for Felix, and that Felix was supposed to go with Dr. Bennett, but then Will said that he's going, and it's this whole big thing. But it's stuff we kind of already knew, but we get more of the backstory with Will and Felix. And I already like Will. I like Felix, but I like Will. I think Will is going to be good for the show in season 2, hopefully the movies, hopefully he stays alive. But episodes 109 and 110, more stuff happens in those 2 episodes than really any episode, or really in the first 8 episodes. The last 2 episodes really were great, were really good, and a lot of people liked them. And I thought the first 8 episodes were pretty good, but the last 2 episodes, 109 and 110, were really good, and a lot of people liked it. And like, wow, I can't wait for season 2 after watching those. There's a different flavor to it, there's just more to it. It's just good setting things up for season 2. So hopefully we'll get that. So you see the backstory of Dr. Bennett a little bit with the girls, and then you see that Dr. Bennett is with Dr. Belshaw. And Dr. Belshaw is the woman that was in the post-credit scenes. She's the scientist, the researcher for the Civic Republic, and they're together. They kiss. They're having dinner. Dr. Bennett misses his girls, and Dr. Belshaw, you could see she has feelings for Dr. Bennett, but I don't know if they're legit, if it was planned, if she was supposed to get to know him, if that was her design, like Huck. Huck was supposed to go there, do all this, get that, and then bring Hope back. But we find out that Dr. Bennett to Dr. Belshaw that Hope is a genius. She's really smart. She can do a lot of things. And Dr. Belshaw told the Civic Republic or Elizabeth or somebody in CRM, the higher-ups, that Hope is really smart. She's a genius. She can actually be an asset to the Civic Republic. So instead of just having the helicopter come pick up Hope, fly her away, and bring her to the Civic Republic, they have to go to the thing on the Monument Day, have a problem, have a story that sets this journey. It's just like, wow, after all that, you could have just not did all those episodes and went a different way. That's why it probably could have been 5 episodes, maybe 6, maybe 2, So, I don't know. But they went this way, and it's okay. But you find out that Dr. Bennett and Dr. Belshaw have a relationship, but Dr. Belshaw is getting information from Dr. Bennett, and she's reporting it back to the Civic Republic and her higher-ups and the people there. So then you see her later on that she's, because there's flashbacks in this different timeline. Was this, how many months was Dr. Bennett there at the Civic Republic, and how much time went by? And they talk about, the wine was a 2004. It's a vintage. What year is it? I just don't know how long he's been there, how many months, and it just doesn't. It's not really that clear, right? So Dr. Belshaw is in her lab where she's talking to herself, and the way she's talking to the glass, and she's having her prep talk, and she's getting her speech together because she wanted to talk about Dr. Bennett, that Hope is coming in 24 or 48 hours. So it had to be close to the timeline when Hope was supposed to be back, and that might have been Monument Day. So I don't know how many days passed since then and where it's been, but Dr. Bennett also said that Will was supposed to be come back from some outing. I don't know what it was, if it was some security thing or something, but Will never came back. But you'll see later on at the very end of the episode that Will is outside of the Czech Republic in the middle of the woods with his own group, with his own gang, with his own people. So Will is very much alive. So you kind of see the timeline a little bit. It's not that clear, but is it important? Somewhat, but it's on there too. So, but Dr. Belshaw is talking to herself to say, look, we had to do this. And she's basically coming clean with Dr. Bennett in her mind. She doesn't even actually say this to Dr. Bennett. She's rehearsing a speech to gain his trust, to try and be there for him, to feel like hope is coming here and it's a good thing. And, she says that I can take the burden, I can live with what being on, I guess not coming clean with things and not giving all the information. And she can live with it so they can live for the future, the greater good. They're always talking about the greater good. She comes up with this whole speech and then she doesn't actually tell Dr. Bennett that. So, because Dr. Bennett, they're sitting on the sofa and they're drinking wine like they love to do, listening to music. They're just relaxing, living a life of luxury, living it up. Dr. Bennett can see that Dr. Belshaw something's bothering her. She looks at him and you think she's going to go deliver the speech and she doesn't. She's like, nothing. And she drinks some wine. And Dr. Bennett says, yeah, well, something's bothering me. I think we're being lied to. The Czech Republic, I like here. It's very important to me. It's very important to you. But I don't trust the military. I think they're hiding something. They're doing something. And I have a plan. Can you help me with that? And Dr. Belshaw just looks at him like, oh, crap. What am I going to do? Am I going to report them? Am I going to join them? Am I going to help them? Or am I going to, we don't know. They set that up for season 2. And we also find out in the episode that Huck is the one that sent the 2 transmissions about his safety not assured, he's in danger, don't tell Felix. Huck did that. And it's interesting if you go back to the first episode when Iris and Hope are saying, my safety not assured, and they're really loud and they're outside, Dr. Elizabeth Kublik comes out of nowhere. And she's like, are you talking about us? So she heard the conversation. So she knew that the messages were all working. This was all orchestrated. She set up with the map thing with the New York State. She said it was kind of set up in motion for them to leave, even though they could just put them in a helicopter and flew them out of there. Instead, they killed all those people in the campus colony, which I think those people would be, important. There's got to be smart people that can do trades, goods, they have skills. There was like 10,000 people there or something, like a lot of people. We never got to see Omaha. We only saw the campus colony. But towards the end of it, you find out that Will knows about the massacre at the campus colony, and he was worried about them getting killed because Will is reunited with Felix and Iris at the very end of the episode. That's how it ends. But Elton, Silas, we finally get to see Silas in the last episode, season 1, episode 10. And he evidently killed a rabbit, skinned it, got it ready, chopped the head off, cooked it, and ate it. And the grill that he made set on fire. It lit a fire, smoke cleared. Elton saw the fire and the smoke. He went to where they were. Silas is just sitting there like all dumpy looking. And then Elton is going by the same window. It's like, what are the odds of that, right? But either way, Elton and Silas are reunited. Percy's in a wagon that Elton is pulling. And there's a funny line where Percy's like, yep, I'm doing great. But Percy, Elton, and Silas are together. They talk. Percy tells them that it was Huck. It wasn't Silas. Silas is like, I'm not a monster. I'm not a terrible person. CRM saw the fire, the smoke. They come around in their truck. They come out in the black gear, the black attire, the weapons. They're ready. Elton, Percy, and Silas leave. I don't know how long they were inside the building, but day turns to night. They're walking down a separate path. They go there. They're being followed somewhat by the CRM. They go through the gate. Percy Percy and Elton go through the gate, and Silas decides to they close the gate and let Percy and Elton get away, and Silas is going to be captured by CRM. He cuts his hand because Percy is bleeding from the gunshot wound, so he cuts his hand to show the blood was from him, so you don't have to go after looking at them. Elton's like, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't turn yourself in. But he does to be the hero type of thing. He gets arrested by CRM. He doesn't get killed. But also the big thing, make sure when you watch the episode, in this part with Silas, when Silas closes the fence, there's a sign on the fence. Percy and Elton are on the one side of the fence, and Silas is on the other. And there's a sign. It says something, but it says PA Rail and Fence. So it's like a fencing company or on there too. But PA is Pennsylvania. So I'm guessing that the kids are in Pennsylvania, and that is real close to New York. And it just fits because Pennsylvania borders New York and they're around that area. So I'm assuming they're in Pennsylvania. Is it Western Pennsylvania? Is it there? So if they're in Pennsylvania, that could be a connecting point with the Commonwealth in Ohio, if it's there, or nothing at all, or Michonne's group, which I believe they could be in the Pennsylvania area if they're in New Jersey or Pennsylvania or wherever they actually are, or they end up. That would be really cool if Percy, Elton, Will, Felix, Iris, Will's group, they run into Michonne's people, which I'm hoping they're in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure where Michonne actually ended up because we just don't know, but she was in Virginia on the naval cruiser. So they get to Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Did they end up in the Delaware River, New York? I don't know where they ended up, but we're all in the kind of area there too. We're in the kind of area would be pretty cool. So if Michonne joins that group, I'm not saying Michonne's joining season 2. It's not confirmed or it's not anything. It's just a theory that I have. I talk about it in my breakdown, and I'll talk about it later on down the road in other videos because we have plenty of time. 3 months away before The Walking Dead comes back, so we'll be talking about a bunch of things over the break. But so Percy and Elton get away. Silas gets captured. Then we got to talk about the big fight scene because Hope and Huck, they kill all the walkers. Hope loses her gun. They continue going on because Huck tells Hope, look, even if you kill me, CRM's going to come get you. They're on their way. They're going to come get you no matter what. And Iris and Felix patch up the truck. They get rolling again. They drive it down. They actually meet up with Hope and Huck in the same building that Hope and Huck are because they saw the light. They saw the lantern, which is a red lantern, by the way. But Hope and Huck, they don't want Felix and Iris there because they're in danger, right? So Huck tries to get them to leave. Give me the keys. They'll do this, but it doesn't work out. Felix grabs her gun, points it at Huck. Huck grabs the gun, flips him over the railing. They start fighting. They knock over the red lantern. The house goes up in flames. They start fighting with S-poles. They're like swords, but they're really not. They have like a lightsaber duel type of thing. They're kind of fighting. They go outside. Huck is about to kill Felix, stabbing him. She says sorry about it, and she's about to stab down. Huck has the gun. She takes the silencer off. She fires a warning shot. Huck looks at her. She puts her gun to her head. She's like, stop or I'll kill myself right now. And she can't do that because Huck is supposed to take Hope back. So Huck drops the S-pole and everybody survives. Hope and Huck get in the truck, drive to the pickup location. Iris and Felix are pissed off about it, but they have to do that because if CRM comes, they're going to kill Felix and Iris. So they decide that Hope and Huck get in the truck. They drive there. They get picked up by Elizabeth Kublik in the helicopter. They get in the helicopter and they fly away. Iris and Felix start walking, and there's a nice moment with Iris and Hope. And they're talking about, I'm the asset, but you're the asset too. Huck was supposed to get Hope, but Hope and Iris work as a team. They work good together. Street smarts, intelligence, book smarts, working together, teamwork makes the dream work, But we get to see different things. So Iris should be the asset, but Dr. Bennett only thought of Hope as the genius. And Iris is actually just as smart, if not smarter, from different things, because Dr. Bennett saw Hope working on a computer, and actually Iris helped Hope. So there's a lot of things there. So you have Hope, who's with the Civic Republic now, and she smiles. So you're like, is she playing them? Is she buying in? Is it legit? What's going on there? And then Iris, who is with Felix, they're walking in the woods. Then you hear, get behind me. And then we see, smoke and fog, and we see a group of like 4 or 5 people in the distance. And Felix looks, there's a hooded individual, which reminds me a lot of Michonne and Morgan. So it's a good mix of Michonne and Morgan together, but it's a man with a walking stick, bow staff that has a hood over his head. And it's Will, of course, right? So it's Will. Will sees Felix. He runs over to him, gives him a big hug. I thought you were dead. Why would you think I was dead? Felix says. We have a lot to talk about. So they're going to find out about the campus colony. Hope and Huck talk to Elizabeth Kublik. Huck says, I was going to get the kids back to the campus colony. We have a lot to talk about. I'll keep you up to date on there too. So since then, they didn't know that the campus colony was gone, even though we know. Huck's not going to like that. I just still feel like Hope is going to help Hope. Huck is going to switch sides and flip-flop because she doesn't have allegiance to Civic Republic. She's got things. So once you watch it, it'll be clear to you. She doesn't flip-flop yet. They all get in the helicopter. They fly away. Will, Felix, and Iris are in the woods. They're talking. They say, we got a lot to talk. We got a lot to catch up on. They see a group. The group starts walking toward them, and I think there's like 6 people that are with Will. They start walking there. Will, Felix, and Iris look up. They see and probably hear the helicopter, and the helicopter flies away. So you have Will, Felix, Iris, and Will's group all together. You have Elton and Percy together. Silas was captured by CRM. And Hope, Huck, and Elizabeth Kublik fly away in the helicopter. And that's the end of the season. So a lot of people are wondering, is Dr. Bennett a walker? Is he a test subject? Dr. Belshaw talks about Dr. Abbott. There's a lot of things, a lot of questions there. I would love to see some big things happening with Will setting up an army to go against the Civic Republic. I would love for them to connect with Michonne's group, setting that up. That just works in so many ways. Will is not really in there that much. He's only in episode 109 and 110, but I like the character already. I hope he's a good asset for the show and the character development and everything there too. But overall, it's pretty good. So that's my time, guys. I went a little bit over. Overall, season 1, episode 9 and 10 are good episodes, and they set up some good things for season 2, and I'm excited for it. So thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. I'll catch you next Sunday for a live stream. Be talking about a bunch of different topics that come up. There'll just be nothing to talk about because these are the last episodes of the Walking Dead universe for this year. And then I'll be back in February 28th for The Walking Dead, and then hopefully April for Fear the Walking Dead, and then we'll be on later this year. Then hopefully season 11A will hopefully be in October, but we just don't know. But thank you guys. I truly appreciate you being here. If you can support the channel in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. As I started this live stream, we were at 94,225, I think, or something like that. So we need 5,800 more. We're getting there every closer every day. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, blocking out the haters, and working hard. Enjoy tonight's episodes. I'll be back next Sunday. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.